Welcome to the Gut 360 podcast. I'm your host, Eli Brecher, a Registered Associate Nutritionist on a mission to empower you to transform the health of your mind, body, and gut. This podcast is the place where we share nutrition tips, mindset tools, and actionable steps to help you thrive on your journey to a healthier gut and a happier you. If you're ready to get into the driver's seat of your own health and unlock your full potential, you're in the right place, and I am so glad you're here. Hello, and welcome back to the Gut 360 podcast. I'm assuming you clicked on this podcast because you are ready to become the healthiest version of yourself this year. And this is your reminder that we're just 15 days away from 2025. So I'm going to take you through a bit of a guided life audit to help you level up before January hits. The new year is quickly approaching, and at this time of year, a lot of people tend to feel burnt out from all the work they've done this year. They're already focused on the holiday season, or they're essentially hibernating until the 1st of Jan rolls around. And they then realize they need to start hitting their goals and get motivated. Well, not us, because we still have time to make things happen for us this year. And I promise that by utilizing the next couple of weeks to get a head start over everyone else, you can end this year successfully and set yourself up so that 2025 is your best year yet. We have just over 2 weeks to end our year on a high note and start hitting our goals. And so to simplify this, we're going to be breaking it down into a few different categories, starting off with a reflection of how 2024 has gone for you, setting some goals using different systems to help you reach those goals, going through a mini life audit, and using a 360-degree mental audit too. First things first, if you really want to use the rest of your year to set yourself up for success and set the tone for a productive new year, where you will be that person who achieves all your goals, you need to start off by giving yourself a bit of an honest reality check. So I want you to take some time to sit down, reflect, really schedule in and designate that time to do this. And you can light a candle, make a herbal tea, grab a journal and pen, and start thinking about what you've actually achieved this year. So if you made a 2024 goal list at the beginning of this year, now would be a great time to dig it out and start by acknowledging what you've accomplished and areas where you can still improve. I actually like to do this every quarter to stay on top of it. So you can break it down into 2 lists. You can do goals that I've accomplished this year and goals I need to work on still. And within these, you can break it into categories like health and work and any other areas you can think of. So for me, for example, goals that I've accomplished with work, I could say I've been consistent with releasing a new podcast episode every Monday morning and posting on Instagram 5 days a week. Health goals, I could say I've taken my step count seriously and done yoga or Pilates every week. And then under goals I need to work on, I'd say reading more. That's always one I aim to do every day. But if I'm being completely honest with myself, it doesn't always happen. Then under goals that you need to work on, first ask yourself, what lessons have I learned from the things that haven't quite gone to plan? And then you can decide what your priorities are here. So choose what's most important to you to focus on before the end of this year. And I'm not asking you to write an end of year to-do list with as many things as you can think of. You need to realize that when you narrow down your focus to just a few projects, you'll be able to dedicate more time to each one and actually really succeed. Okay, next you want to ask, what systems can you use to focus on these end of year projects? Whether it's calendars, checklists, a hydration tracker if your aim is to drink more water, healthy shopping lists, writing down a meal plan for the week, or creating a weekly workout schedule. Remember that here on the Gut 360 podcast, we always take a 360-degree approach to health. And sometimes it's these little extras that can actually get us on the right track to achieve our goals. Now let's move on to a relationship audit. Start by becoming aware of which people in your life drain you and which people in your life recharge your energy when you spend time with them. And then I recommend you start considering, how can I create some boundaries with the people who do make me feel drained or who don't encourage me to reach my potential? Ask yourself, where can you allocate more energy to the things that fill up your cup in life and allocate less energy to the things that drain you? Just a little food for thought. Okay, next we're moving on to a mental audit. And I think here we should kick this off with a bit of a brain dump. So grab your pen and paper or your journal again and write it all down. What are you excited about? What are you anxious or stressed about? what's on your mind, what's coming up. Just get it all down on paper to help to create space in your brain for the next step, which is to evaluate your mental environment. So I love to think of this as, what content are you consuming, whether it's books or podcasts or music or people you follow on Instagram, and how are all of these having an impact on your mental capacity? Ask yourself, what aspects of your life, mental and physical, do you have some control over? So the people that you follow, the podcasts that you listen to, the books that you read, the activities you do, the people you choose to spend time with. Ask yourself, what impact are these all having on my mental health? Finally, ask yourself, what kind of a person do I want to show up as in 2025? And lock that in over the next couple of weeks. You need to start making decisions based on the future version of you, not the current version. That's how you step into your next level self. So have a think about your healthy habits, your routines and rituals, because the way you show up day to day is going to be what determines what you will or won't achieve with your health goals in 2025. So it's time to set the vision for the year ahead. 2025 is your year to thrive. So ask yourself, how do you want to make the most of it? What milestones do you want to hit in your health, your career or business, your personal life? And then jot that down in your journal. If you're feeling creative, you can do vision boards or even digital vision boards that you set as your phone background. My friends know I actually love doing this stuff. So I hope this episode has given you a few things to think about on how to close out 2024 in a strong and productive, fresh way, so we can start 2025 feeling our absolute best, physically and mentally, happy and thriving. Before I leave you until next Monday, I would love it if you could take 10 seconds to leave a review of this podcast wherever you're listening, Apple, Spotify, give us a 5-star rating, spread the word on Instagram, share this episode to your story. It really, really helps us reach more people. And the more people we can reach, the more people we can help on their journey to a healthier gut and a happier life. I hope you have the best week ahead, and I'll be back in your ears next Monday with an amazing guest episode on the Gut 360 podcast. So make sure you click the follow button so you don't miss it. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Gut 360 podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast or learned something new, it would mean the world to me if you could leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you're listening. And make sure you hit follow for weekly episodes every Monday morning. Do share this podcast with anyone who you think it may benefit. And for your chance to win a free online nutrition consultation with me, just take a screenshot of this episode and share it on your Instagram stories, tagging @Eli Brecher Nutrition so I can repost you. See you back here next Monday.